few years back, 2024, I noticed an old friend from Kearney, Nebraska, and he was working out, staying in shape, getting lean. And I asked him, "What are you doing, Chris? You look amazing." Chris and I began to talk about high intensity training. I did a video at one point on being spiritually, physically, and mentally healthy. And that's really my desire. And even in high school, trying to stay in shape for sports. And I began to lift weights, even at my home. Had a set of weights, the old school Sears and Roebuck set of weights, and kept them around, and really my entire life began to pursue being strong. And even right now, walking on this treadmill, walking and working and sharing the message of my training. So all those years that I pursued strength and health and well-being, if you look back at some of the pictures of me, you will know for sure that I wasn't always strength and strong and healthy, but I always thought I was. And those pictures represent the fact that not that I love to train and be strong, but that I love to eat and be big. And that's kind of how I live my life. Well, after contacting Chris gave me an opportunity to engage in high intensity training. And through 2024, from April to December, I lost 40 pounds. I became very, very lean, 8.8% body fat. But the big one was at 64 years old, I was stronger than I ever had been in my entire life. And from that point, I began to pursue more knowledge about high intensity training, study about high intensity training, and a desire to teach it to others. So I contacted Chris again and said, "What can I do to get more?" And he sent me to 4 videos that were created by Mentzer. And in those 4 videos, laid out a plan for high intensity training. This is really interesting, folks, because all of the years of going to the gym and spending hours in the gym and never getting stronger changed completely when I started going to the gym, doing 1 set to failure, and then walking out and being stronger the next week and the next week and the next week. It's a very important message that Mentzer sends to us, that just because the sun is good for you and you get vitamin D from it, it doesn't mean that you should be out in the sun for a long, long time and get a terrible sunburn. So much sun that it would be damaging to your health. The same thing happens to many weightlifters and strength bodybuilders in the gym when they go into the gym and they beat their bodies and they never try to recover. So here's what I learned in the last 2 years, and here's what I want to teach others. Number 1, our bodies are made to get stronger. Our bodies are made to be healthy. But in order for them to be healthy and to be stronger, we have to treat them right. We have to eat right. We have to stop eating all this processed food, all the food that comes in a box, all the food that we don't even know what they do to it. We have to stop eating all that and eat good, healthy, fresh food like I had on the farm growing up. And we have to stop going to the gym and doing all this crazy weightlifting that causes our bodies damage, and then going back the next day or the following day and doing the same thing over again without rest. Our bodies need rest. And what I learned through this process, rest and recovery are the most important part of growth for our body to be stronger. And so that's the foundational piece for Mike Mentzer. The workout does not grow your muscles. Rest and recovery is what grows your muscles. The workout destroys your muscles, and you need rest and recovery to heal your muscles. Therefore, one set to failure in the gym is all you need. Now, here's another piece. That one set to failure when I started was as quick as possible. And then I began to realize that there's way more time to failure, and that it requires you to understand what failure really is. We're talking about failure that when you do a squat, you go down and you can't get back up. We're talking about failure that requires someone else to help you. But you have to learn that. You have to learn how your body reacts. You have to learn how your body handles that. And over time, you'll get better and better after you learn the exercises to figure out what failure really is. Secondly, we have to go home. We have to fuel the workout with good food, water, hydration, all the things that we need, the building blocks that we need. And then after the workout, we have to go home and refuel our muscles so they can grow. That requires us to eat good carbohydrates as 60% of our diet. That requires us to eat good building block protein with 35% of our diet. And it requires us to eat the fat that we need to function well, but not eat fat just to be eating it and because it tastes good. That's what it takes. Sleep to let our body recover. If you can't sleep well, we got to figure out what to do to make that happen. And finally, and this is probably one of the most important things, that if we want to be lean, we have to move. We have to walk and burn 500 calories a day. We have to run and burn 500 calories a day. We have to ride a bike. Whatever that means for you in moving, that's why walking and working is so important. Many of us spend time behind a computer, time in front of the TV. There's no reason why you can't be doing your walking and doing the same things that you love to do. So get on that treadmill, get on that bicycle, do things, get outside, get some vitamin D and be healthy. But remember, don't get that sunburn. So I want to say thank you to Chris for my teaching. Thank you to Chris for leading me through this time of study and through this time really of transforming my life and getting to the point where I feel like I'm more healthy and stronger than I've ever been. And by the way, I'm 66 years old now, and I can't wait to tell others about the possibility of how they can be stronger, how they can be healthier, how they can live longer with high-intensity training and Mike Mentzer. Thank you, Arthur Jones, the founder of the Nautilus workout programs. Thank you, Mike Mentzer, for your message and never giving up. For Marcus, for his teaching and his advice. And finally, for Chris, for investing in me, and spending time with me, and showing me what high-intensity training is all about. Thank you for for listening to my video. And we're getting stronger every day.